good evening and welcome to World of Warships. My name is Robin and today we will be sailing and reviewing the Tier 10 Commonwealth Premium Destroyer Vampire 2. But first of all, thank you very much for tuning in the video. I really appreciate it and I hope you will enjoy your time here. Warrior's Path Arms Race mode will be our arena for today, and we've got ourselves a flank spawn on the left side of the map. Matchmaking comprises of super ships and a carrier with only one radar on the enemy team, the Annapolis, and opposing destroyers being a Dalarna, Hayate and Z-42. But let's talk about the Vampire 2 here. I have recently acquired this ship after finally resetting a few lines, and I have to admit I regret not getting it sooner. If you have played Daring before, Vampire 2 offers a similar experience even if there are some significant differences. To keep it short, the ship is basically an up-tiered Haida. You gain crawling smoke instead of short burst smokes, your hydroacoustic surge becomes much more potent with a ship acquisition range of 5 kilometers. An engine boost helps you compensate for the lack of initial speed, but it does not end there. The DPM increases from Daring while also having great fire chance and retaining the short fuse AP shells, and you also benefit from a better concealment value going as low as 5.8 kilometers. Drawbacks then, yeah, there are a few. Only one quintuple torpedo launcher, a low HP pull, and most importantly no heals. So, in essence, Vampire 2 focuses on main gun damage, contesting caps, and fighting other destroyers using its fantastic smoke plus hydro combo and excellent DPM. But let's get back on the game at hand here. Some pretty quick torpedoes just whooshed by us, most likely Dalarna, and we already have a good idea of what is on this flank. I am, on the other hand, in no position to grab any of the buffs. Going for them early game often results in a quick trip back to port, especially in a carrier game, and I want to conserve my HP. Spotting advantage against Dalarna is also in my favor, so for now I am running silent and providing vision for my team. The friendly Malta though confirmed the presence of the European super destroyer and, shortly after, the enemy Hayate. With the Annapolis spotted on the other side of the map, that's my cue to burn my first charge of crawling smoke and start firing. We are just 2 minutes in this game and we already know it's about to be rough. Yamagiri and Holland both go down, possibly from Annapolis' radar, and just like that, I am the only destroyer left on my team. Not the sort of starts you want to see, especially in a gun-focused destroyer with no repair party. So yeah, pressure's already on, but for now we are focused on dealing as much damage as we can while our smoke is active, benefiting from our CV spotting. I am also staged near this damage buff, so I will stick around here and try to grab it when it becomes active. Now, even though we can slowly crawl around and reduce the chances of being hit by torpedoes in our own smoke, there are still 2 destroyers in our vicinity, so we activate our sonar. Friendly Carnot goes down. 3 ships in about 3 minutes, and with the enemy team having grabbed a bunch of buffs already, the point difference is already really bad. Once again though, Malta is going to spot the Hayate this time very close. The Japanese destroyer smokes up, but we have her number now. And the moment we detect her torpedoes going towards our allies, we can just slowly reverse to try and pick her up again in our hydroacoustic range. We have also loaded AP, as the short fuse can deal with destroyers extremely quickly, and a couple of salvos are enough to bag the first frag for our team. At the same time, we secure that damage buff, and with a few seconds left on our smoke, think about our next position. With the Hayate dealt with, the Dalarna last spotted near the heal buff, and the enemy CV busy with our Montana, we have a bit of room to maneuver and decide what to do next. Additionally, 2 reload buffs have also spawned nearby, so my goal is to secure both of them while maintaining spotting whenever possible. Enemy Curfirst is also getting properly focused down. Our team trying to work against that 240 point disadvantage, and I will be trying to send some more torpedoes downrange. Now, if there is one thing I really have to improve with my destroyer gameplay is how to properly lead torpedoes and also how to read enemy movement. Because spoiler ahead, we're not gonna hit a single one this game.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
Yeah, we know. Friendly Hindenburg goes down, and it seems that on the other flank, our Friedrich der Große is also AFK, so technically we are down 5 ships in 5 minutes. Almost like clockwork, it seems, hey? Keep going that way, and we are losing this game in another 7. At least our team is not completely out of position, otherwise this would be the recipe for a complete stomp. Our torpedoes don't look like they're gonna hit anything either, and with the friendly Novosibirsk pushing for the buffs, we decide to help out and go loud. The enemy Kurfürst will eventually go down, but man, his partying salvo is about to absolutely crush the flat broadside Soviet supercruiser. About 50,000 damage right here, and that is a really rough trade, especially considering how low he was. But the friendly radar will actually give us some more information about the position of Dalarna, that has been quite busy securing various buffs for her team, and is about to secure some more. We do make her pay for it though, with at least 8,000 damage in return, essentially for free. And we ourselves secure another buff, this time for reload, which will help us greatly down the line. Some more torpedoes are gonna be sent in the general direction of the following buffs, trying to catch the European destroyer while she's freely roaming around the center of the map. The point difference is still looking a bit bleak, but nothing extreme, and our team has managed to somewhat equalize the kill counter. Well, as I say this, we're about to lose the friendly Montana, but you get the idea, we are still fighting this out and we can turn this around. Second reload buff acquired. Not only does this help our team fight this out better, but it also reduces that point difference a little bit, hey? Our next objective will be to try and hunt down Dalarna. We simply cannot let that destroyer spot and torp the little remaining of our team, and she's already done enough damage right now. Our RPF is locked on her, and hopefully the enemy CV won't reveal our position anytime soon, as the element of surprise here is the important thing. But as I'm about to push the very middle of the map to execute that plan, look at what we spot running for the other flank. Enemy CV acquired, and yeah, we are going to keep that spotted. I don't need to ask more than once for focus fire. Friendly Kurfürst salvo is already in the air, and behold, one of the most important parts of this battle. Yeah, 55,000 damage only with his front guns. I don't know what's going on, but Kurfürsts were cooking today on both teams, it seems. And this will make the whole job a lot easier once the Immelmann goes down. We are also just a few seconds away from the spawning of the center cap, so our timing is great. I am very, very tempted for a moment here to open up and help finish him off, but my RPF is dead ahead, and with the friendly Malta coming overhead, now is the time to try and take care of Dalarna. Finally, she is caught. Short fuse AP is loaded, and we are about to demonstrate how ridiculous Vampire 2 is at dealing with enemy destroyers, especially thick ones where our AP can easily arm. And accounting for the extra damage buff, most of our salvos land for over 3 to 4k damage. Dalarna absolutely melts away, 25,000 damage in under 20 seconds. And even though the enemy team trades the Novosibirsk for it, we are at least on equal footing in terms of destroyer count now. Moreover, Immelmann is taken out, and now we can say that we've got a shot at a win. We are contesting the central zone, but the enemy team still has some pretty scary ships left. A Vermont, Colbert, a kiting Rune on the south side of the map, and the most dangerous of all, an Annapolis, tucked in behind cover with radar range of the majority of the zone. The latter is our priority target, and at every possibilities I will be taking pot shots at it. I am in a good place to say that I know what Annapolis can do in these situations, especially when a team is forced to push into its dug-in position. So, engine boost activated, and I close the distance, aiming to use island cover and floaty ballistics to keep him under heavy fire every time he's spotted. Furthermore, that Annapolis is actually protecting the last remaining 2 heal buffs, which our team so far has managed to acquire none of. And even though I haven't taken that much damage in previous engagements, I need to try and secure at least one of them. Meanwhile, our friendly Kurfürst is under heavy fire and will definitely go down. His sonar does spot the US supercruiser for a while, enough for us to deal additional damage to it. At that time, I am also very worried about the position of the enemy Colbert, but the Malta reveals it outside of the capture point, so it is time to push forward again and try to make something happen. Annapolis is gonna break out from cover, perhaps trying to get angles on our Kurfürst. Big mistake on his part, since this now exposes him to our friendly Malta. We are also trying to lob some shells above the rock, but we are landing a bit short. Fortunately, a properly placed torpedo drop brings Annapolis low enough for us to eventually take him out with guns, even though we are going to struggle a little bit for that. Friendly Kurfürst went down as predicted, and this now brings this match to a 3 versus 5, and now that the Annapolis is finally dealt with. We also could not finish him off in time for him to grab the third heal buff for his team. We have been on the back foot constantly this game, forced to push into dangerous situations, and this is not about to change. I barely began to capture the central zone that Colbert went right in to contest. On a positive note here, we still have a friendly carrier and a Ruggiero di Loria that has managed to conserve enough HP to be relevant in the last stand to come. Radio position finding suddenly switches. Enemy Aratara was last seen sailing away and is now possibly coming right back in through the channel. Initially, I was very afraid that this RPF update could be Colbert, and I did not want it to be caught in a CQB with that, so I preemptively slowed down and turned away until I got more information. Also, enemy Rune is still at large, slowly coming back from her extreme kiting, but we can't worry about her just yet. We get confirmation on Aratara and send torpedoes out. If there is a chance to grab that heal buff, it is now or never, especially with Colbert sticking to his division mate Vermont. Revealing our position here might have been a mistake, but right now every point of damage we can trade for free is worth taking. My crawling smoke is also loaded, so I can afford to be a little bit aggressive. Friendly Malta is spotting for us, which is extremely helpful, but the fact that she is pushing back in could be very dangerous for her, especially with Z42 last seen basically in our spawn. And finally, we grab ourselves not one, but 2 heal buffs, with Di Loria making a great play for the second one. Colbert is caught in the open. It's time for us to smoke up, especially with the Rune on the other side. Armor piercing on the French cruiser's broadside, but I believe that 457mm sap does the job a little bit better, don't you think? Goodbye, Colbert, and this could be cited as an example of the enemy team trying to win a little bit too hard. That kill was extremely important, especially for my survival. Colbert coming with sonar, possibly faster than me with engine boost active and, well, about 2.5 times my firepower. But we are still not out of harm's way, far from it. We are now sandwiched between the Japanese battleship and the German cruiser, so we have no choice but to stand our grounds. With over a minute left on my smoke and my sonar keeping the Aratara spotted, we are going to take that notion quite literally. Insane blind fire though. We eat 7.5k from that shot, which is more than a third of our remaining HP. The friendly Malta goes down from the enemy Z42, something that we saw coming, but our Loria shortly trades that loss by taking out the Vermont. Aratara is also doing a great job tucking in behind the island to deny me any torpedo angles. Rune was also adding to the blind fire pressure and is coming quite close to spot me with sonar. But we are not dead yet, and the Japanese battleship is starting to greatly suffer from this as we are pouring shells after shells into her superstructure. One thing she definitely cannot hide behind that rock. And about 200 shells later, and the high caliber metal, we actually take her out, but not before she lands yet another blind fire, dropping us to 5k HP. Just in time as well, as the Rune was only 6.2 kilometers away from our smoke. And somehow we turned this into a 2 versus 2. Some more torpedoes in the water, and as our last smoke stops puffing, we head back into the cap and try to heal. Yeah. But the greed is always getting the better of me, isn't it? And even if for the first time since the battle began we are ahead on points and we could afford to play safe, I will engage the Rune after the Loria salvo lands and finish her off before she can cause more trouble. And that is when the enemy Z42 decides to reveal itself again, on full HP, understanding that, well, the rest of the work is now on his shoulders, but the friendly Italian battleship only has to turn away and survive, while I try to recover HP and place myself into a position where I can defend him. We are completely out of consumables though. No more sonar, no more smoke or engine boost, we have used them all. Having received the HP buffs, it definitely saved our hide. Otherwise, I am pretty certain Aratara would have taken us out with these 2 blind fires. I am slowly creeping back up to about 7k HP, but even then we have to keep pushing just a little bit. We do outspot that German destroyer by about 400 meters, comfortable enough for us to dictate the engagement. Additionally, even though Malta went down a few minutes ago, she, of course, as a CV, still has a squadron of rocket planes airborne that will proceed to fly over the Z-42 smoke, drop a squadron of fighters on top, and guarantee a spot on that destroyer when it comes out of it. Very fair, right? We don't hesitate and engage instantly. Even if we go down, the combination of the Malta and Loria should be enough to finish him off now that he's out of his smoke. And with our insane DPM, AR paired with arms raise buffs, we are actually going to outtrade him and even get the kill. A fantastic closure for this very tense battle on Warrior's Pass, ending in a well-deserved victory. 238,000 points of damage dealt, 1.5 million credits gained, and about 30,000 XP earned. We achieved Confederate, Dreadnought thanks to these HP and heal buffs, Kraken Unleashed and High Caliber. Out of 632 shells and 8 fires, not a single torpedo hit, and sinking 6 ships in the process, including all 3 enemy destroyers. 3,800 base XP, a very satisfying amount for a destroyer game, with the friendly Loria being the number 2 MVP, helping us carry this game against some serious odds. Definitely one of the best games I've had with this ship so far, and hopefully a great example of how the ship can be commanded. With that said, this video is coming to an end. Thank you very much for sticking all the way through. Leave a like or a dislike, but as always there will be more content to come about World of Warships. So until next time, you have a good one and you take it easy.